Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I cannot stand to see somebody just embarrass themselves so badly and so often. It's hard to watch. I don't care about the politics of it all, whether I like the individual. It's just so sad to see somebody totally embarrass themselves. Karine Jean-Pierre, I'm speaking to you, you poor, poor soul. You gotta just give it up. You know, certain people have certain skill sets. There's a right job for every individual. And White House Press Secretary Karine, that just isn't you. I don't think you realize it, but you're essentially the fall girl for this administration. You're turning yourself into a national embarrassment in your efforts to do your job and save Joe from scrutiny. It's a complete and utter disaster. Karine Jean-Pierre continues to be the worst press secretary in American history, possibly in modern American history. I don't know, I'm not really that old. The lies, the mistruths, the propaganda that she continues to peddle continues to catch up with her. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean, and in general, let's just get into more Democrat dishonesty, the way that they're tackling this whole Biden documents scandal. Others are calling it GarageGate. Let's continue to expose this Democrat dishonesty. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, remember a couple days ago we covered that Karine Jean-Pierre piece that we did about transparency in the Joe Biden administration, where she said on 6 multiple occasions that the search for classified documents, which were illegally in Joe Biden's possession, was complete.
The search is clearly complete. They completed the search. The search is complete. He is confident in this process. You should assume that it's been completed, yes. After the search concluded last night, that search was completed last night.
She claimed it's complete, friends. We found all the documents, nothing to see here. Literally the next day or possibly less than 24 hours later, more documents were found in Joe Biden's personal office at Hunter Biden's home. Well, now Karine Jean-Pierre is the one who has to answer for that. Here's James Rosen from Newsmax in the New York Times asking Karine Jean-Pierre if she'll apologize for misleading the public.
You told me 36 times that turned out to be false. Are you sorry about that?
I'll see you tomorrow. Come talk to me. I'll see you tomorrow.
What an absolute disgrace this woman continues to be. Well, it gets even worse, because a new shocking revelation, except not really shocking at all, I guess not really a surprise to anybody who's paying attention and watching this stuff honestly, DOJ special counsel finds 5 more classified documents at Biden's Delaware home. Every time they tell you, it's all folks, it's done, we found all the documents, Joe Biden is cooperating, more documents seem to surface. What are we at, like 25 documents now? Which Joe Biden was definitely completely unaware of. He had no idea that he was in possession of a whole stack of freaking classified documents written top secret on them in his own office, in his garage next to his favorite car that he takes out driving all the time. How could he possibly have known? Of course they knew about these documents. Karine Jean-Pierre knew about the documents as well. They just didn't want the public to know. They've known of these documents since back in November. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre being questioned on the issue.
I want to follow up on Cecilia's question, and sorry if I missed it, but on Friday, did you or did you not know about the additional 5 pages?
I literally just answered that question.
But I missed it, so is it yes or no?
Well, I mean, you're not too far sitting next to her, so I was very clear. I provided the information that you all had at the time.
And she snaps, acts moody, honestly acting like a sassy high school bully, definitely not hiding anything, as she works actively to continue to hide the truth from the American people. I have never seen a group of more dishonest, corrupt propagandists in my life. It's all just piling on to the incredible dishonesty of this Democrat response to GarageGate. Let's transition into the next portions of this video. Here's a great example of that dishonesty. Democrat Representative Eric Swalwell defending Joe Biden on ABC's The View.
And so I think this case, in special counsel, I think is absolutely appropriate. This case will hinge on his knowledge and intent. It looks like once he was aware of this, he did what I hope everyone would do, which was get the documents back to the government, cooperate in every meaningful way. I know it's natural to compare this to what the former president has done, where it looks like he wanted to keep the documents and is litigating that and fighting in the courts. What worries me with President Trump is that somebody who was willing to leverage $350 million of taxpayer money to get dirt on his opponent, as he did with the Ukrainians, if he has top secret documents in his possession, that he could leverage that for his own benefit. But again, I think treat them both the same. give independent analysis and independent scrutiny and see where it goes.
Now that right there is a very interesting take because it's possibly the most dishonest, the most backwards take so far. It's much more concerning with Donald Trump because he was trying to blackmail Volodymyr Zelensky into obtaining dirt on his political opponent Joe Biden. Something that, by the way, never happened. Did he call for an investigation into the Bidens subtly? Yes, because of all the corruption. But when it comes to blackmailing the Ukrainians, we know that's exactly what Joe did. I mean, he admitted it on the record while being filmed. Then he goes on to suggest, with no evidence I might add, that Donald Trump took documents to sell to foreign adversaries. Yeah, by the way, keeping those documents locked at Mar-a-Lago with Secret Service protection and logs of who's going in and out of the facility at all times would definitely suggest that Donald Trump took those documents to sell them to foreign adversaries. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, his brother Jim Biden, and son Hunter Biden had various documents all over the place and are allegedly involved in an influence peddling scheme, meeting with foreign leaders and business leaders while being in possession of those documents. Now, where's the potential national security risk? Eric Swalwell, who's a walking, talking national security risk, might I remind you of Fang Fang? He's going to tell you that it's Donald Trump who's the national security risk and selling those documents, or suggesting that Donald Trump was selling those documents to foreign adversaries. It does not get more backwards and dishonest than that. CNN actually promoted and pushed the exact same narrative with their government ethics expert.
Kathleen Clark, a government ethics expert, calls it all troubling.
We have certainly examples of Biden family members explicitly trading on his name, trying to convince business partners to do deals with them. That's outrageous.
Even so, government ethics experts say the Biden's ethical challenges pale in comparison to Donald Trump.
One of the differences is that Trump himself personally was corrupt and certainly did enrich himself through the use of government power.
One of the differences is that Trump himself was personally corrupt and certainly did enrich himself through the use of government power. How could you say something like that with literally no evidence? Donald Trump was personally corrupt. Name a single example. Drawing blanks. Donald Trump enriched himself through the use of government power. Excuse me, but wasn't the headline story 2 weeks ago on CNN Donald Trump's tax returns, where he lost millions of dollars in personal wealth during his 4 years as president? He enriched himself using government power because he's personally corrupt, and that's the difference. Yeah, I find that kind of interesting, considering his net worth took a massive hit after running for office. But to add some perspective here, when it comes to Donald Trump and his riches, there's a track record. He's an actual businessman. He's a real estate developer. He created things and enriched himself and his family. We actually know the story. We know what he did. Well, what about the Bidens? 50 years in government. We're talking about a family that's worth millions upon millions. We don't have a real good look into how many millions they're really worth as a total unit, but I'd say if we had access to their trust accounts, their stock portfolios, and their real estate portfolios across the board, I'd say it's pretty damn sizable. And again, nobody has any idea how exactly they made that money. Which side is personally corrupt and enriching themselves through the use of government power? These Democrats have it totally backwards, and it's done on purpose. They know that they're spreading lies and propaganda because that's what they're paid to do. That's their job, and that's how they're going to tackle this issue, because that's the Democrat modus operandi. Lie, obfuscate, and point the finger at Donald Trump and blame him or accuse him of exactly what you're guilty of. And of course, offer zero transparency. Joe Biden is refusing to provide visitor logs for his Wilmington home where classified documents were discovered. They're claiming that there was no way to track who could have gone in and out. As if that's a defense, that actually makes it worse. But as we're learning, I'll have to get more information on this because so far it's just some experts who are providing their opinion. But supposedly, there actually are visitor logs of Joe Biden's residence in Wilmington. And if there aren't, that could be another massive national security risk. Another scandal which will ultimately fall on Joe Biden's shoulders. Right now, what we're seeing is the system peacocking in defense of Joe Biden, trying their darndest to hide as much as they can, refusing to provide basic transparency. I mean, that's really been the story this entire time. We're also learning, I forgot to add this story, that the DOJ initially declined to monitor Biden's attorney's search for classified documents at President's home. Report says, he was in possession of actual stolen top American secrets, and the DOJ thought the appropriate thing was to just let Biden's attorneys deal with it. Of course, providing the contrast here, they raided Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home for documents that they knew he was in possession of. But anyways, it's nothing but a lack of transparency, hiding, propaganda, lies. And like I always say, that's just the Democrat MO. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.